Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. Oh, I love it in the morning when no one's awake. And I'm here with my jam sandwich mug. I am working on a problem though. I'm always working on some kind of a problem. Let me show you what I got going here and how I might be able to solve this problem. All right, so this is my upside down dumpster fire that I'm working on for Shannon's book about hooking and healing. And so I've got I don't want to show you all of it, but I've got my cityscape happening in the background. I'm going to put in the color of the dumpster, and I'm kind of experimenting with the colors on that. I don't think I'm there yet with that. I think I know what I need, and I don't have it here, so that's going to involve standing up and looking through bags. My least favorite thing. But in the meantime, the problem is that I've got my dumpster fire, and it's meant to be very, very, very bright. So while I have some good bright dumpster fire colors that I'm using to outline, I want there to be a real rainbow of colors within it. And, you know, I have a lot of my Snoodle Noodles, and a lot of them are bright colors. I've even got some of my metallic yarn, right? This is that not knit, stretchy yarn that I got. I ordered it from somewhere abroad. But it's metallic yarn, right? And it's a little bit stretchy, like, like bathing suit material or dancewear material. So that's good and shiny. That's a maybe. I've got this sari yarn, and I know I have more stuff like this that is, multicolored, and maybe that goes in there for texture. But I'm just worrying that I have lots of little bits and pieces that are going to make this really bright, but I'm worrying it's not bright enough. And then I was walking by my daughter Jocelyn's mask making area, and I saw this fleece that I bought her for something, and she hasn't used it. Let me see if you can. The sun is really bright right now. I don't know if you can tell, but it's really bright fleece. Now, I normally don't hook in fleece. I know it's possible, but I just haven't done it. So let me shut the window. I'm going to cut a piece of this, and let's see if I can hook some of this fleece, right? Because I know a lot of people do hook with fleece. I'm using rug warp, which is the tightest backing, and I don't want to have any more problems with my hands. So let's see how thin I can get this fleece. This is synthetic, so I'm not putting it through my bliss cutter. It'll dull the blades. I'm going to cut it with some scissors, and I'll do that with you. Let me just shut this window. Okay, amazing. I found my fabric scissors in her area too, so hopefully they cut. All right, let me just cut a little bit of this off here. This is definitely fabric from Joann's, because that's what we have closest to us. This is the lightweight fleece, and it was rolled up, which means I got it in the remnants area. If you have these big box stores, they are my least favorite to shop at, but sometimes I find stuff there I need, and it's my only local. So I definitely would have found this as a remnant. And when they've made a cut and they're getting rid of the rest of the supply, they always do like 50% off or something, and it's always super cheap. So a lot of material for not very much. And as I say, I know a lot of people do hook with fleece. I just haven't. Remember, fleece is not a knit, right? Fleece is like a completely man-made fiber. It is not knit, meaning woven. Right? It's not a woven, but it does have stretch. I'm cutting this. That looks more like a number 8. Let me cut it a little bit thinner. Because it's not a woven, I don't want it to rip in half in my hand as I hook. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not holding itself together. It's basically like a cloud of fiber. All right, let's see. I'm going to start with this small one first. And what I really just want is a really bright color to pop. The reds are bright. There's 2 reds. I don't know if you can tell. There's a darker one like here. There's the darker one, and then there's a lighter one, the brighter one next to it. That's this one. So I've got 2 different reds in this, and one of them is much duller and the other one is brighter. But that's my brightest bright, and I can't make a wild dumpster fire with just, oh, I don't want to go on that line. Well, can you hear that? That's someone we never hear in our videos. Normally, we've got Buttons the dog creating mayhem, and this time we've got Pitter Pat the cat. Yep, there she is. She never talks. I literally was just at the back door asking her if she wanted to go out, and she was just looking at me like I had 7 heads, and now here she is during the video. as you can see, having absolutely no problem hooking this. Like no problem at all. I'm going to bring you in for a close-up. You ready for your close-up? That was really remarkably easy. And this stuff is like super duper cheap. So this is kind of exciting. I'm going to spend a little bit of time before I have to really start the day seeing how bright I can get some of the details of this fire. Because honestly, maybe it's not relating well on video, but I can't imagine a color that's any brighter, except maybe safety vest orange. And now that I've said that, I think I'm going to have to go to Joann's and see if they have safety vest orange. The only reason I'm struggling a little bit to hook it is because it's rug warp. But I have to say, the material doesn't show any likeliness of falling apart, right? It doesn't want to fall apart. It's quite durable. I'm really surprised, I have to say. I thought it would be ripping as I hooked. It's definitely not. And this is my thicker one. So let's see. Now we got a siren in the background. Oh, it's so peaceful here in the knot country. All right, let's see. This was the one that I cut more to be like a size 8 strip or something. So nice primitive cut, but a little bit difficult. And I have to say, it's not hurting my hand at all, but it's because it's fleece and it's so sort of supple and soft. It's not hurting my hand at all. It's much easier to hook with than wool. Of course, it looks slightly different, but gotta say, I'm really surprised. I thought we were going to have a bit of a lesson in how fleece didn't work in rug warp backing, but indeed we are having a lesson in how well fleece, like craft fleece clothing, it could be either garment or whatever, it's the bolts of fleece. And remember, you know, if you have one of these big craft stores near you, at least my Joann's has an enormous section of fleece, like enormous, and it's patterned, it's solid, it's on sale, it's thick, it's thin, and this is one of the thinner ones, and it's performing very, very well. So I think I solved this problem. I think I'm going to stop at Joann's on the way to do my other errands at the studio and see if they've got other colors that are really neon for my dumpster fire. And Joann's, anytime you want, you can start like kicking me back some money for all of the constant advertising I do for you. Just kidding. It is fun to find stuff that works, that's not difficult to find and not expensive to find. This whole amount of material that I had was rolled up, and that sticker I pulled off of it said $9, which probably means it was $4.50. So, I mean, this is a crazy amount. I could make a top for Jocelyn with this. Or I can add accents to my dumpster fire. But regardless, I will see you next time at Ribbon Candy Hooking. Have a great day, everybody. P.S. Here's some bonus material on this video. I just want to show you that I'm adding this metallic stuff, the metallic yarn, and I'm adding it, I want to be sure you can see it right here. Let me just pull some loops up. Hopefully you can sort of see. I'm going to tip towards you. Now, this metallic yarn, right, is super fun to play with. It's not very expensive, although sometimes you're forced to buy multiple skeins. The biggest problem I have when I hook the metallic yarn is that a little bit of the white shows, because it curls in on itself, but the back of it is white. You see what I mean? And when that shows, it's not very nice. So I never let the tails show with the metallic yarn. Sometimes I can see a little peak of the white underside on the first 2 loops, but it's not going to torment me. I don't think it's going to torment me. And it's a little bit harder to pull up, particularly in rug warp. It's because it's folded, you know, it folds in on itself because of the nature of the way that it's made, like a tape, like a stretchy tape. And because of that, it can be thick. You know, it's at least 3-ply, if not more, from curling in on itself. So pulling that up through the rug warp is definitely more difficult than pulling up the fleece, but it works really well. And I don't know if you can see in this light, but it is completely metallic. So that adds a nice bling. I'm going to look for my other, I've probably got about 10 different colors. See, that pulled up just a white loop, so I'm not having that. I'm going to look for my other colors. There he goes. We knew we were missing one voice in this video. Yeah, so this stuff is a lot of fun to play with too. Warning also with this metallic yarn, if you pull it up too many times, the color seems to die. Like you stretch the color right out of it and it's just silvery white. So you have to be pretty careful about what you're doing. You don't want to keep pulling it in and taking it out. Remember, I'm not going to leave the tail on top because it'll just show you the white underside. I'm going to leave it underneath there, cutting it underneath. And yeah, it looks quite good. It's another nice touch. It's weird light right now, but you can see for the fire, it's going to give me a lot of sparkle. Hard to photograph, but beautiful in person. All right, that's it. I'm really going. I'll see you next time.